Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Agent Xerxes here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Last time in What If Midoriya Had Shazam's Powers, Izuku is bestowed the powers of Shazam, training for a year, then being saved by All Might, and learning of his injury. Now we continue with Izuku flying towards the smoke of some incident, more determined than ever to show All Might that he's wrong. Izuku arrives quickly, immediately noticing that the villain was the same one All Might had beaten, being surprised that it had got away.
Using the wisdom of Solomon, Izuku realized he was at fault for the villain's escape, saying, "What have I done? I have to make this right." Izuku then takes note of the heroes who are there, stating, "None of the heroes have the right quirks to take this guy down." Izuku then uses Solomon's wisdom again, and figures out what the villain is weak to as well, noticing that the villain has a hostage. Without thinking, Izuku flies up, getting some more speed, then charging with his fist out with lightning crackling off of them. Izuku is about to hit the villain but stops in his tracks when the villain moves the hostage into a shield position, blocking where his attack would have hit. Izuku then realizing the hostage is Bakugo. Izuku's face fills with shock for a split second. After the second, Izuku starts to move before thinking, grabbing Bakugo out of the sludge villain and throwing him towards the heroes. Although the villain is able to grab Izuku and hold him, the villain then gloats, stating, "So, you got the kid free. So what? Now I have you. I can use you for a meat puppet." Izuku smiles at this, saying, "Is that so? The way I see it, is I no longer have to hold back." Izuku then starts to electrocute the villain, slowly turning up the juice until the villain falls apart, falling unconscious. The crowd is in shock, staring at Izuku, although he pays them no attention. Instead, he simply pushes the goop off him, rolling his eyes at the mess, saying, "This won't do." Then taking his cape off and placing all the goop into the cape and tying it up in a blur. Izuku then looks up, smiling at the crowd and saying, "I just collected them all for you guys. Is everyone okay?" Immediately the crowd cheers, with some saying, "Wow, that guy is strong. None of the other heroes couldn't do anything to that guy, and he saved the kid who was trapped. Amazing." Izuku is then swarmed by reporters who are trying to ask questions like, who he is, and if he was the vigilante the public deemed as Captain Thunder. Although once the cops hear he's a vigilante, they try to arrest Izuku, but Izuku flies away saying, "Sorry, seems I got to go," not answering any of the reporters' questions. While flying away, Izuku has a smile on his face, saying, "I saved Kacchan, but if it wasn't for me being stupid, he would never have been attacked in the first place. I'll apologize to him tomorrow." Wait, how would he know I saved him? Or why I'm apologizing? He'd just call me a quirkless weirdo like he usually does. The difficulties of a secret identity. Izuku then lands in a dead end, not paying attention to if anyone is around, since he's so caught up in his head landing, and no one is ever there, right? Izuku then shouts, "Shazam!" without noticing All Might at the exit of the dead end. Izuku turns with his grin still on his face until he sees All Might standing there in his buff form, freezing, then saying under his breath, "The wizard is going to kill me." "Boy, I thought you said you were quirkless. Why did you lie to me?" All Might, I could explain, but it's a bit complicated." Izuku then explains to All Might how a year ago he was chosen to be this wizard's champion. Whenever he says his name, the living lightning comes down, transforming me into a hero with the power of the gods. All Might then stares at Izuku for a minute, stroking his chin, processing what he was just told, all while deflating down to his regular form. All Might then speaks, saying, "So, this wizard who has the powers of the gods chose you to become a hero with said powers, but why did he choose you for this role?" Izuku replies, saying, "Well, he conjured a prophecy a couple thousand years ago, looking for who would succeed him, and, well, it was said that I was to be a successor, and that I'd become the greatest hero the world will have seen." This piques All Might's interest, saying, "So, what kind of powers do you have when you are transformed and not transformed?" Izuku says, "While I'm transformed, I have super strength. I can fly, run at super speed, shoot lightning. I have a sort of super intelligence, increased durability, increased endurance, and some other little things here and there. Although, when I'm not transformed, I'm just regular Izuku Midoriya. All Might replies, "Wow, you have quite a lot of abilities, but there is one glaring negative I see in your power." "What is it?" "You have no way to defend yourself in regular form. However, I may have a way to help you with that. Meet me at Dagobah Beach tomorrow at 10 a.m. All Might then gives Midoriya his number, saying, "If you need anything, don't hesitate to call me." Then inflating into his hero form and jumping away towards the sunset. Midoriya then goes home curious about what All Might wants to talk to him about tomorrow. Once Midoriya gets up, he leaves to head to the beach, saying to his mom, "I'm going to meet up with some friends. I'll see you later, Mom." Hugging her before he finally goes. Midoriya looks at his phone, seeing how long of a walk it is to the beach. Seeing it's a 2-hour-long walk, he instead decides it would be better if he used his powers to get there quicker, and not leave All Might waiting for him. Izuku then heads towards his roof exit. Once he gets up there, he does a quick check to make sure no one is up there. Once he's certain it's clear, he shouts, "Shazam!" flying off towards the beach. Once Izuku gets there, he looks around in the sky to make sure no one will see him land/transform. Noticing a single figure in the parking lot, then realizing All Might's waiting for him. Izuku lands beside All Might, saying, "Sorry I'm late. Shazam." "What did you want to talk about?" All Might assures him, saying, "It's no big deal that you're a little late. If anything, I was a little early. I just wanted to test you at something, if you're up to it." Izuku smiles at him, replying, "What's the test?" All Might explains how he wants to see how well he could do in a head-to-head fight against him, and explains how he's looking for a successor. As well, if Izuku was up to it, he would like him to be it, but only if he can pass the test. Izuku says, "Okay, All Might, let's do this. If I may ask, a success for what?" "You'll find out if you pass the test, young Midoriya." "Oh, so that's how we're going to play it. Okay then. Shazam." All Might brings Izuku over to behind the garbage where no one can see them, buffing up and saying, "Don't hold back, Midoriya. Go all out, and I will too. Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes!" "Fine. If that's what you want, then let's go." Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive is a channel based on a variety of anime lore. If you're interested in content like this, make sure you click the icon on the top right corner, or check the description below for a link to the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. The second Izuku stops talking, a sonic boom happens from Izuku flying towards All Might. Izuku flies so fast at All Might that he's barely able to see him move before being hit by Izuku. Izuku's hit launches All Might into the air, where he then grabs onto him, bringing him higher and higher, hoping to knock him out from the lack of oxygen. All Might smiles at him, saying, "It's not going to be that easy. Detroit! Smash!" The hit knocks Izuku away from All Might, losing his grip on him and leaving All Might to plummet to the ground. However, All Might does multiple smashes to get into the reach of Izuku, where he then grabs him and throws him to the ground as hard as he thinks Izuku will be able to take, causing a huge boom. All Might thinks Izuku is down for the count, now landing on him with a smile, saying, "Ha ha! Good try, young Midoriya!" reaching out his hand, although Midoriya smiles at this, shouting, "Shazam!" causing the living lightning to come down, hitting All Might, making a scorching hole in his hand, knocking All Might out from the excruciating pain, and transforming Izuku back into his regular form. Izuku then gets up, saying, "I didn't think I'd have to do that. Good fight, All Might." "All Might?" Izuku looks at All Might, noticing a hole between his thumb and index finger, freaking out, saying, "Oh my god, what have I done? I need to get some help! Shazam!" Izuku then picks up All Might and flies to the closest door he can find, heading to the Rock of Eternity to gain aid of Shazam. Once Izuku finds the door, he thinks of the Rock of Eternity and opens the door, which leads to the rock, then pleading for Shazam to help him save All Might, and that he's the hero he's told him so much about. Shazam looks at Izuku for a moment, saying,
"Okay, Izuku. Just make sure this doesn't happen again. Magic is amazing, but it's not a miracle worker."
Shazam then heals All Might. All Might then slowly gets up, saying, What? What happened? And where are we, young Midoriya?" "We're at the Rock of Eternity, All Might. So basically the center point of all magic. And I brought you here because my lightning made a hole in your hand. Sorry. Although I got the wizard to fix you up, at least this time. All Might then quickly looks at his hand, seeing it looks completely normal. Then noticing how his left side isn't in pain, like it usually is. Lifting his shirt to see only a tiny skin-colored scar. Then looking up, All Might says, Wait, you fixed my respiratory system?
Yes, I thought while I was healing one thing, why not heal another?
All Might then stands up and hugs Shazam, saying, Oh, thank you! I'm forever in your debt. Now I have more time to save people. Shazam smiles at this, saying,
You owe me nothing. Izuku is the one who's got you into me so quick anyway. But all I ask of you is that you keep being a good hero and keep him safe.
Gesturing towards Izuku. All Might shakes his head at him, saying, Izuku, you passed my test. Even if you didn't, I knew you were the right one. Will you accept my quirk and become my successor? Izuku gives a confused look, saying, Huh? Leading All Might to explain One for All to him and the wizard. Once being explained, Izuku says, Why me? I already have this amazing power. With that, another hero could be so much better. Even though that's true, if you aren't in your transformed state, you are just a risk to yourself, and something for the heroes to worry about. But with One for All, no matter what form you were in, you could help in some way. After hearing this explanation, Izuku accepts One for All, where they then agree to have Izuku train for a month in his regular form, either here or at the beach with All Might. A month later, Izuku has cleared the beach using his regular/transformed forms, and is given One for All. Then for the next 6 months, he trains to be able to control 6% of One for All, figuring out full Calling quicker because of the wisdom of Solomon. However, Izuku realizes that when he is transformed, he can use 100% without reputations, but he needs to learn how to control his output of the quirk. All Might and Izuku also decide that he shouldn't use his transformed form in his test, since he's kind of a vigilante in that form. For Izuku's last month before the entrance exam, he focuses on learning the material more than training his body. On the day of the exam, it all goes the same until they got told to start. Once being told to go, Izuku is nearly able to keep up with Ida and he starts to destroy robots. Although if Izuku saw anyone that needed some help, he went out of his way to help. Whether it be them hurt and they need to get to first aid or a robot was about to hit them, he'd help. When Izuku sees the 0-point robot come out, he decides to take it out, since someone could get hurt from it if it managed to hit them. Izuku then rushes underneath it, shouting, Shazam! Causing the living lightning to come down, making a huge hole in the robot, but the robot was so armored the bolt didn't reach Izuku. This causes Izuku to take a mental note on the fact that the bolt didn't reach him. Side note, Izuku took out the robot so quickly that Ochako wasn't even caught under any rubble. Once the test is over, Izuku sees if there is anyone who needs any help, although when he sees Recovery Girl, he slightly fanboys out asking for her autograph. Then finally, once Izuku is certain everyone is okay, he heads home texting All Might about his exam with a smile on his face. A couple of days later, Izuku gets his letter from UA, seeing All Might, who says, Haha! Good job, young Midoriya. You made it into the hero course with the highest score, and even beat the record. That was my record. But I'm happy if anyone were to break it, you did. I'll see you around. Next time we will see how Izuku fares now being a part of UA. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the recruitment Discord in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you like the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day.